Good morning, everybody. It is time for Tao of the Day. It is 7:30 here in Central Time, and I am excited to kind of start diving into what the Tao has to offer us today. If you have a number between 1 and 81 you'd like to go through on a step up, and we'll start reading through the Tao. The Tao Te Ching is an ancient text. Oh, we already have. Oh, Marcella. Marcy. My girl Marcy. What's up? we're just gonna start with you.
It's
I
so
love it.
funny.
I
I
love
just
it.
woke up and I saw you on. I said, "Oh my God, I've never seen him on this early." And then I
Oh,
realized what
I've
time it
gotten
is.
on at 4 a.m. before.
Hey, good morning, John.
Good morning. It is nice. It is nice. It's nice just waking up
Yep,
together.
yep, it is. Did you bring me coffee? I'll get my own
I would
coffee.
love to. I would love
Oh,
to.
you're so sweet. Oh, wow. Did you sleep well?
I didn't fall asleep well, but I did sleep well. And I got up a couple hours ago, did my meditation, did some movement, talked with Annabelle Hartley just briefly a little bit ago, and
Oh,
that was
who's
something.
Annabelle Hartley?
She's here on 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 wisdom. She's a therapist that speaks. I don't know how often she speaks. I think she's overseas, so she's definitely on a different schedule than we are.
Interesting. I shall seek her out.
Yeah.
Well, then,
So
very good.
let's. You got a number this morning? Any dreams of
Um,
numbers?
sort of. 77.
77. Just connecting really quick. As it acts in the world, the Tao is like the bending of a bow. The top is bent down, the bottom is bent up. It adjusts excess and deficiency so that there is perfect balance. It takes from what is too much and gives to what isn't enough. Those who try to control use force to protect their power, go against the direction of the Tao. They take from those who don't have enough and give to those who have far too much. The master can keep giving because there is no end to her wealth. She acts without expectation, succeeds without taking credit, and doesn't think she is better than anyone else.
Hmm. Well,
You know, this one ends. She acts without expectation, succeeds without taking credit, and doesn't think she's better than anyone else. And like I like this last line, first line thing. And the first part talks about, the Tao acts upon the world like the bending of a bow, the top down, the bottom up.
hmm. Sagittarius energy.
Mm.
Hmm.
Like if the Tao is in all things, I
Yes.
like so I'm starting to see this kind of connection. This acts without expectation and succeeds without taking credit because it's not you,
Mm-hmm.
right? It
Right.
is you in conjunction. Like you are just this starts to like I love ants. Ants work together in this way that is just amazing.
This is true.
um, they just and they all have their role, and there have been times in my life where I always thought like free will, sure, but living as one is like the cells in my body. If each cell in my body had its own free will, I can just decide I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm going to turn into a piece of drywall. Like that wouldn't work. Like the whole system gets to work. I get to work because everything is working in conjunction with everything else.
Well, did you know that if you laid all your veins down in a straight line, that you would die?
I love that. That's good. If you unraveled all of your intestines, you would die. Like that was.
Yeah, I got a lot of those. It's
No,
good
that's a good
advice.
one. I
Yeah.
like that. You got dad jokes.
They're actually Marcello jokes.
What's that? They're my
They're
they're,
actually Marcello jokes, yeah.
they're my cello jokes.
Hmm.
I like those.
Like, you know that it's possible to swim in lava, but just once?
Just once, only once.
Or studies show that if you swim in lava, you will die.
Studies show. I
Hmm.
like that. Yeah. That's excess and deficiency. It's like there's too much heat, deficiency, your life.
So, in conjunction with prophecy, there we go. No, I'm kidding. Accordance with prophecy, we shall not swim in the lava. So in conjunction with the Tao, I
Yeah.
should have no expectations.
Well, yeah. I mean, so here
I
is it
don't
is
have
it.
any anyway.
Yeah. It's like having expectations. It's interesting. I've found in my life that um, I I don't have expectations until I do, right? Like until they show themselves, until something that like I expected didn't happen. Like I love that you were like, can you bring me coffee? Because of course I would. But and and if we did that like every day, one would be like, oh, I'm gonna get my coffee, and then there's
No,
that like I was talking to
see, I
somebody.
don't.
Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I was
I'll,
talking to
I'll
somebody.
explain it
I
later. Yeah. Hmm.
I had a client recently. It was just like I got so angry today because I got so scared. Actually, it wasn't angry. It was like that my partner didn't bring me coffee, but they had brought me coffee like 4 days in a row, and so I was just expecting the coffee, and it was just like, well, there's the problem, right? Like you built that expectation. So please tell me about that.
No, I don't. I don't because I think those are just gifts, and sometimes gifts run out. You know.
That's right. Yeah.
So and it's like Mojo. Like he says that every time he comes to we speak, he will say something specific, and he goes, "But now you're gonna expect it." And I said, "No, I don't. I don't expect it because he might change his mind. He might call me something different.
Right.
You know, I don't know. Maybe he'll call me Marcy one day. Who knows? But he says this thing, and I laugh every time he says it. He makes me
Yeah.
giggle. So
The goddess of
all
all
things
things
dark
dark
and
and
beautiful.
beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See, you even laugh when I say
Because
it.
I wasn't really expecting you to say it. So
Yeah. I remembered it because it's true. It's true. Like that's the thing. It's just it's embodied.
well, no, it's like you said that last night I went to see a friend on Clubhouse who I haven't spoken to in months, and he was surprised to see me. And he said to me, will you follow me? I'm going to be doing a walk, possibly beginning at the end of this year. And the walk will take me 11 months, but it's a walk for sanity. And I said, who's sanity? And he stopped and he said, what? And he goes, I like it better when you just come in and tell me you don't like my room. Because I used to go in, his room titles are really sucky. So I would wake up and, like there he'd be, and I would go in and say, hello, number two, because he calls me number one. I'd say, hello, number
Mm,
two, I don't like your room title.
yeah.
But he just came to expect it. And then one day I just forgot, and he had something intriguing. I went up there months ago. I went up there and I said, oh, interesting title. He says, what? Yeah, I mean, I don't expect anything. If you like my titles, you do. If you like them, you don't. If you like me, you
Right.
do. If you like me, you don't. If you don't like me, whatever. Who cares?
That's it adjusts excess and deficiency, so there's perfect balance.
Well, I'm not balanced at all. I'm a Sagittarius.
Well,
But I do have
well,
my
there is
bow.
perfect balance in that though. Like we can't see it, and I think that's the big thing here in 77 is like you can't see this. You can't see this happening. You can't see the Tao bending the top down and the bottom up. But it adjusts to excess and deficiency, so there is perfect balance. And we look out at the world and we say it's not balanced, right? There are those who have far too much and those who don't have enough.
What if the
And
world
that's,
really is flat, Martin John, and it's just sitting on a teeter totter?
well, I always say, is the world flat? Sure. Go on, get it. Like I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Like I don't, I try not to take sides on beliefs. Like I posted something a while back where it was like, it takes more energy to not believe in something than it does to believe in everything. It's like I don't have to argue the truth of something. I can just hold it. But when I don't believe in something, I immediately have to be like, that's not true.
Well, I
You know?
had to release that, and very
Yeah.
recently,
Good.
because my boyfriend's a flat earther.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, so, and it triggered me when he said it, and I actually started to have a panic attack, and I hung up on him, and then I had to, oh yeah, it was awful.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like, all right, you can believe that. Like, I can believe that, the sky is pink instead of blue. Right now it's gray.
Yeah. Mine too.
Blue skies
Nothing
are
but
at night.
blue skies. So
Yeah,
those who try to control, those who
mm-hmm.
use force to protect their power, go against the direction of the Tao. So, like you and your boyfriend, you were able to yield to his beliefs because it doesn't. You don't have to be right. Like he
No.
can believe what he needs to believe, and you can believe what you need to believe, and you can be like, yeah, that's good. Like it doesn't. It's no skin off my nose that you believe that. Like you're fine. Like I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go
Yeah.
debate with you, like because that's not healthy.
Ooh, I had someone visit me last night on my stage who asked me, I was talking a little bit about witchcraft, and he came up and says, oh, is all this true and real? I said, yes. He goes, well, what kind of things can you do? I said, if you want a consultation, you can back channel me, and. He goes,
Yeah,
oh, so you can't do anything? And I said, okay.
yeah,
I didn't take offense. That's his belief.
that's
If
right.
he doesn't believe it, doesn't believe it.
Yeah, you don't have to prove yourself. That's one
Exactly.
of the things. Like those who have to prove themselves. Like here in the Tao, it says. Wise men don't need to prove their point. Men who need to prove their point aren't wise.
Yeah,
And that's
I don't feel
that's
like I
the
have to
saying.
prove
Just be
anything.
here with it, and the
Well,
master
thank you
can
for all of
keep
that.
giving, can keep giving, can keep yielding because there's no end to her wealth. That's the thing. You can allow the flat earther space because your wealth is endless anyway, as is theirs. And like I love your like you're not living with expectation. It's something that I struggle with a lot. Like yesterday, I expected there to be um an avocado in the fridge, and it wasn't there, and I was like, damn, I really want an avocado.
Oh man. Well, my BFF Brock Hager, number one. I call him number one. He's the other Brock. He hates avocados. So I wonder
Oh,
what his expectations are. I'll have to ask him.
yeah. I
Oh
always
God.
address those things that I don't like or the things that I say I'll never do. As soon as I say I'm never going to do something, I always kind of, oh, now I got to go do it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Like, come talk to Martin John. I said, no problem. Never talk to him. Yeah, I know. I never said that.
I'm supposed to run a race on the first Saturday of May, 5 miles, and when I got back from my dark retreat, I ran a number of 5 miles, like runs,
Hmm.
and now my ankle is like I've not run for a week because my ankle has pain, and now I'm like, oh, I'll just rest and see if I can make that run, and like we'll see what happens. But the only reason that I'm doing that run is because I used to say, like, I'm never gonna like pay somebody to get me to run. Like that's silly. Like what the like and it was at the beginning of the year when I was looking at that and I was like, oh, I gotta go run now. Damn it. And then I signed up for the first run that came through my inbox, and here I am just
Wow.
adjusting excess and deficiency.
Wow. Oh, there's somebody clapping. Andy. Andy Scarantino is clapping for you.
Oh, Andy. Andy's my buddy. Andy's
I've
Andy's a
never met
marathon
Andy.
runner. She's a yeah, she's awesome. She's yeah,
Well,
she's
if
done
you're
quite a bit.
vouching for her, then that's cool. I like that.
What's that?
If you vouch for her, then that's cool.
Yeah, I definitely vouch for Andy. She's she's Andy. That's for
Aw.
sure.
Andy, did you bring us coffee?
I don't know that. I don't know that that's yeah. I don't think that's in her wheelhouse. I kid. I
Okay.
kid. She's awesome. But
I'm going. I'm
all right,
melting.
Marcella. Thank you. Have a good one, Marcy.
Bye.
Oh, that was fun. Marcy and I kind of touched on 77 in that. And I got some claps from Andy. Thank you so much. Yeah, lots of things, lots of things. So here we are, Dow of the day. If you have a number between 1 and 81, and you want to talk a little bit about the Dow, just step up. I can pick a number if nobody does in the. All right, we have Andy and then Graciela. Andy, oh great, love talking about buddy Andy.
Running a 5 mile race.
Well, I might. I have this ankle problem because when I got back from my dark retreat, I just ran like in 3 days. I ran a 5 mile each day, and I was like, yeah, this is nothing. I'm good. Like we're good. But then like I went to run that fourth day, and I was like, something's wrong with my ankle, and it really hasn't. Like there's still sharp pain in when I walk around in my ankle, so I'm like, I don't know what to do about this, but I'm resting it still, so we'll see.
Well, keep in touch. You know, I'm a running coach, so I
Yeah,
can, yeah, so I can help you if anything. But
yeah. I think I may have to get an X-ray. Um, that might be my next move.
how many days
So,
has it been?
it has been well. Let's see. I got back on the 4th, so I did 5th, 6th, 7th. On the 8th was probably when I started resting it. So it's
Mm,
been 10 days.
I see.
It was swollen, but not bruised. Yeah, so and it's not like I mean there's sharp pain sometimes when I walk, like when I twist my ankle in a certain way and when I touch it. So we shall see. I don't know.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll connect about it. We'll connect about it off wisdom. But
Yeah.
I just wanted to. I did not bring you coffee. Um,
I wouldn't expect that.
I think that Marcella has the greatest voice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's so cool. I loved listening to you guys talk. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
No, yeah. And I got the permission yesterday to call her Marcy. So I'm all about
oh, that's awesome.
that's like like I feel pretty special, like
That's way
if I do
cool.
say so.
It's way cool.
Yeah. Got a number for me today.
Hmm. Number 3.
Number 3, is that water or coffee?
That's coffee.
Uh-huh. Hey, got your own.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you overesteem great men, people become powerless. If you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. The master leads by emptying people's minds and filling their cores, by weakening their ambition and toughening their resolve. He helps people lose everything they know, everything they desire, and creates confusion in those who think they know. Practice not doing, and everything will fall into place.
I love that. That is
It's a
so
good
right.
one. It's a good
That's
one.
so
Such
right.
a
Oh,
good one.
yeah. I love that. I love all of it. This is such a big piece in the foundation of a lot of the work that I do in the control factor of what people want to grab onto to get. And it's like, no, you're going to lose just a little bit more. You're going to lose just a little bit more because the way is to just be, and you will. But I think that's really powerful. The line about, I don't know if you wanted to do it line by line, but the
Yeah, of
line
course.
about,
Of
yeah,
course
let's do
I
it
do.
line by line. I want to take it apart. I love it. I love the
Well,
whole thing.
what's the line that pops out to you? Because
The
that's
line
really
about, well, I think the line about possessions, if you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal.
okay. Okay.
And that's such an interesting thing to me. I mean, the whole thing, the whole message. because the whole message is about how we think we know, and we think we know what's valuable, and we think we know what's supposed to be, and yet
Mhm.
we're almost always incorrect. Like we're always incorrect about what it's about, and it's such an interesting thing about placing a value on anything, because if you look at things like demand,
Mhm.
I you see this a lot with any sort of crisis, or any sort of like right now, gas prices, for example. Well, there's a big gas prices are really high. And in different times, like during hurricanes or during snowstorms, you see the demand for these things sort of increase. And then when the demand increases, we begin to try to steal or pilfer or do things like that. But what is all of that really? Like that is all just egoic. The whole thing.
Right.
The whole thing about what we need to do, where we need to be. I mean, all of this is just an illusion. And it isn't, and the undercurrent of everything, which I would say would be the Tao, would have nothing to do with that.
Right.
And all of these things about what we value and what we think we know and who we think is important is such a human game. And what we think that we need to be doing, and at the time we need to be doing it. And if we release all of that and just be, allow the pendulum to just go as it will, we'll receive all that we're supposed to. And if we don't,
It's interesting
go
that
ahead.
you mentioned the gas, just because it's like, gas is expensive, but if like, if you don't go anywhere, like it's just kind of like, well, it's going to bite you in the ass at some point, sure. But there are ways of allowing yourself to not possess, right? Like, and that possession is always about comfort, right? Like that possession,
Mhm.
like I have this, and that makes me comfortable. I have
Mhm.
this, and I have the ability to go somewhere. But now it's like, well, gas prices are high, so now going somewhere is more expensive. But if you don't want to release that expectation that you can go somewhere, then
Mhm.
you're uncomfortable and you have to go get gas and you have to pay this price and all of that, and so you start to steal.
Yeah. I think that it's great that you brought up expectation, because you and Marcella were talking about that as
Yeah.
well. The expectations, and comfort is a big one, because comfort is also a human thing.
Hmm.
Like it's also very tied to, and you can go without it. You can,
Yeah. It's
but if you
difficult because we have been in a society that has put comfort almost in front of everything.
hmm
You know.
I do.
So going through this, oh, if you overesteem great men, people become powerless, and this is the same as the possessions thing, but now it looks at people.
hmm Because then everybody is, because then you're placing people in a hierarchy, and you talk
Right.
a lot about the interconnectedness of all
Yeah.
beings. We
Yeah.
have such trouble seeing that.
And
And
that's
when you
yeah. Go on.
no no no.
And that's the as soon as you put somebody on a pedestal, everybody else is under that pedestal.
hmm
And then there are people who are not going to get the benefit of the doubt of that person that is on the pedestal, and
hmm
their voice will get drowned, and their voice may have the answer to, like, the problems of at least some people, but it'll be harder to hear.
Yeah.
Mhm. And if you overvalue possessions, people begin to steal. We covered that.
Yep.
The master leads by emptying people's minds and filling their cores, by weakening their ambition and toughening their resolve.
Hmm.
This is your comfort. Because if your
Yeah.
resolve is tough, then you don't have to be comfort. You don't have to be comfortable.
Right.
And be like, no, you are here. Empty your mind and fill your core. Your
because
mind is the thing that's kind of controlling. Go ahead.
because comfort is in the mind.
Right.
Like all of that is in the mind. I
Right.
mean, like in your dark retreat. I mean, in that whole experience, you made the decision as to whether or not you were comfortable. The exterior wasn't changing.
Right.
You know, I think that, but that we could take that to, that doesn't need to be an experience like that. We can just take that to our everyday life. I live in 150 square feet. I'm perfectly comfortable. There are people that would drive themselves crazy. And what's the damn difference? You know, like what's the difference? Why am I comfortable there, but I'm comfortable in a large house, I'm comfortable in a hotel, I'm comfortable in my car, I'm comfortable sitting by the river? Like, where is it? It's if you have a strong, and I think that that goes to like where you're really resting. Because if you're at peace, then you can be comfortable anywhere. And if you need to have certain conditions be correct for you to be comfortable, then you're more cerebral, then you're more in your head brain, and you're not
Right.
so much in your being.
And then it continues to say, he helps people lose everything they know, everything they desire, and creates confusion in those that think they know.
Mm, I like that.
We that's the one that's the one thing I really love about the Tao is that like you lose everything like because you don't know shit. And we run around in this world being like, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know.
Yeah, it's really a problem. It's kind of an
It is.
issue because I find, especially when I speak to different people, because here in the West, that's an epidemic, is that we can grow by stepping into the not knowing, but we're so stupid, we're so pig-headed that we're like, no, I have to know everything immediately. Like even here, like would anyone have the audacity? And we do have the audacity. I think the more comfortable we are in our being, the more we'll develop that audacity. But like, would anybody have the audacity to show up and be like, I have no idea what I'm talking about? Like, and I come off as a person that will say, "Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Please allow me to learn," because that is really how I changed my entire life, was being able to admit that I knew jack shit. And that was at a very superficial level. I mean, when it comes down to the Tao, I mean, we do not know. That's the thing. We don't know shit.
No.
Nothing at all. But we can't even admit that we don't know a very basic concept. Have you read that book? Oh yeah, sure. No. Like we don't even allow it to go to that level. And even me, like I'm a very spiritual person, but I haven't studied like I haven't studied for 20 plus years like you have. So I'll say, oh, I better learn a little bit more before I start to speak on this. And we're so wed to what the knowledge that we have, that we forget that we have absolutely no idea what's happening at any time.
And I think that is where this really, like, all of this is like, the more you don't know and the more you can admit it. I do think getting through the stage of I know, I know, I know, to a
Hmm.
place of, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and I think when you can get to that place of no, I don't know. Like this isn't like but but that kind of calm confidence of not knowing rather than like that like
I think
anxious I need to know
Yeah, and that's also
not
about
knowing.
that line with the people, and and people losing things. Is that I think for me, it's very easy to be open to not knowing information, but I don't like the idea of not knowing what's going to happen, because I
Hmm.
want the predictability. I want the predictability of certain factors, and it's like, but it's going to be fine. Like
Yeah.
it's always going to be fine.
It's always great how like these conversations like just naturally move into the next line of the Tao, which is practice not doing and everything will fall into place. Like that's how this ends, right? Everything's gonna fall into place. But you gotta practice this concept of not doing, which is
Mhm.
being present with what is and not knowing, not expecting, not demanding. and just being here and being like, huh, what is this? What's going on?
Way cool.
Yeah.
That is a powerful message for me today as I practice not doing. I'm restless, so I'm going to continue to practice my not doing.
Yeah. And like it's good to be aware of that. Like just be aware of that restlessness in your mind, because that's where it starts, right? Like it starts in your mind, then you're like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to do this or whatever is happening, and then you get up and you do those things. But if you just kind of be aware of it in your head and go, hey, buddy, what's up?
Yeah.
Sometimes that can that can just offer so much.
It can. That's awesome. That is so awesome. I love to talk with you about the Tao at the beginning of the
No,
day.
thank you. Yeah, no, and I love I talking about the Tao is it's fun. I love it. So thank you for coming up.
It
And
was
we'll
awesome.
talk about my ankle. Fuck all. Like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just hit me up. Let me know what's going on.
Sounds good.
All right. Love you. I'll talk to you
Love
later.
you. Yeah,
Bye.
we'll talk soon. All right, we're gonna bring up Graciela, and then no one else is in line. So if you wanna get there, hey Graciela, how you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
I am very well.
Mm.
I'm smiling. I had Marcy and Andy and Graciela. Like I have like three amazing women coming up on my stage.
Oh, how's your mom?
My mom is good. Came back into town. She's doing
Yay.
well, sitting around. Like she's getting up early, doing her stuff.
Mm.
All
I
is well
am.
here.
I'm taking it slow today because I knocked my head with it in it like on a chair on the corner of a chair last night,
Ooh.
in the dark, and I have like a bruise right on my forehead, and this like
Oh.
very not. It's not like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 2. So it's not
No.
really hurtful, but it is constant pain. Like that little bruise on my forehead. It's so
No.
annoying.
Yeah. Just a little Rob.
Yeah,
Constant
yes.
hanging
Yes.
out. Yeah.
A little bump right there. Anyway, and it's cloudy over here in Florida. And when it's cloudy, I always just feel really mellow. I don't necessarily get depressed with the weather or anything like that, but when it's cloudy, I just like the room is also not as lit, right?
Yeah.
And I just feel super super mellow today. So yay,
That's
it's a good
good.
day.
Mellow days.
hmm
Do you know where Marcella is in the country?
If I'm not mistaken, she's in New York.
She's in New York. So okay, it's gray
Yeah.
here, gray in New York, gray in Florida. Maybe the entire eastern part
Yes.
of this country is just just gray today. Just a gray day. It's a nice chill day just to be gray and a little sleepy all day.
Well, one of my peer coaches is also in New York, and he was sending me some videos with that like very persistent rain. It wasn't snowing though, but it was rainy and
Mm,
very like mushy and blah. Yeah.
yeah. It snowed here in Chicago yesterday.
Well, we finished Saturday night. We had a thunderstorm over here with rain and lots of lightning and thunder.
Mm,
It was very powerful and it lasted for, I would say, a few hours. And then yesterday was sunny, never rained at all. And now today we're back to cloudy. But yeah,
yeah. Mm.
look at us talking about the
Look at
weather.
us
And
talking about the weather.
yeah, I want to know about your ankle. So keep us posted, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see
hmm
how it all pans out.
hmm hmm
I'm not too concerned about it. I might have like little stress fractures or something like that. I don't know. It's like, things
Oh
happen.
my gosh. Yeah, well, that
No.
sounds painful. So,
Ah.
mhm.
it's all fine. We'll see how it all turns out. I'm still planning on making this run. A broken ankle or not.
Oh my
not,
gosh.
not not really broken, but if I got to get X-rays, I'll go in and I'll get them this week.
Well,
If
it's okay to not go for the run,
Oh yeah,
Martin
no,
John.
I'm well aware. It is definitely a possibility to not do
I would
that. A
love
friend
to
of
hear
mine
you say it.
a friend a friend of mine was like, you might not. I was just like, well, it's a little early for me to be kind of offering that up as an option, but it is an option. It's not an option. Um,
Mm.
but but yeah, it's super. Like yeah, we'll talk about it, especially like as we
Mhm,
as we
mhm.
approach it. It's all there.
Okay.
All right.
So
So
I would love to do number 2.
number 2, staying in the low numbers today. When
Mm,
people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend upon each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has but doesn't possess. Acts but
mm,
doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That's why it lasts forever.
mm, mm. Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you.
That's very nice. That's very nice. So, the first part of this is something that really changed the way I see the world. Early on, when I first started reading the Tao, which is when people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. It's like one creates the other.
Right. It's like all these categories. Why are we compartmentalizing?
Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
And you could walk around thinking your entire life that you're tall, but you're 4 feet, but you've never experienced someone taller than 3.5 feet. So you feel like you're tall, and then you get to a place where, like, you know there's not just people that are short or whatever in this category, and then all of a
Right.
sudden you're like, wait, is there people that are 6 feet tall? like I'm not tall at all, right? And then all of a sudden you have a new way of understanding short and tall. Like, oh wait, I'm short? Like, who the hell? Wait, when did that happen? Right? And then
Hmm.
all of a sudden that experience that you had created a new way of defining something.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're talking about a gray day and rainy day, and there was no judgment on any of those. They weren't good or bad or right or wrong. We were just like, oh, it's a gray day, and that means I'm mellow, and that's cool. Like, all of those sorts of things are just, that's what is.
Yeah. Rainy days here can be a little hectic because Elijah will just like he won't understand that for as long as it's thundering, he cannot go outside. In his
Mm,
mind, he's probably thinking, "But I have rubber boots and I have a raincoat. Why are we not outside?" And so sometimes it gets really hard.
oh,
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, honey, we just need to wait. We need to wait for the sky to clear." And it's so awesome how we're getting to understand each other little by little. I mean, the other day he put 4 words together in a single sentence. He said, "No leche. I want to go outside." And I said, "Ooh, okay, no milk. Well, we're going to go outside. You let me know when you want your milk." Awesome. That sounds
nice.
wonderful. Yes, please, by all means, do let me know when you want something. That would be so great. um,
And I can't even imagine what it's like to communicate and then watch the
mhm.
depth of the communication of a child sort of evolve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now lately he says outside and instantly answers his own question with how I would normally answer, which is no, no, not right now. And so now he says outside, no, no, not right now. Like all in one single breath. And I'm like, yeah, right now. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go right now. Or I'll be like, no, no, that's right. No, no, right now. No. It's
Oh,
so
so cute.
fascinating. It's so
Yeah.
fascinating, the process of every day just communicating more and more with him. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not sure if you want to take it line by line or if
Yeah,
you
no, I'm
want
like,
to.
as we, yeah, yeah, I'm easy. So the beginning does, start with that, like the beautiful creates the ugly, the good creates the bad, and then it goes into this, like, these pairing off of these five pairs. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend upon each other, before and after follow each other. And they each have a different way of responding, right? There's create, support, define, depend, and follow.
Right.
Any of those like stand out to you?
I mean, just the last.
Wow.
I know. Just the last little bit. Just break it up however you want, and I'm listening. Because
So
over here,
yeah.
I'm being pulled in another direction, but I'm listening. You know how it is.
Yeah. I like the one that always kind of brings up like this sort of like, high and low depend upon each other. High and low depend upon each other. Like to be high up or to be low. Like the way that it's described, it's like one depends upon the other. Like there has to be one for there to be another. Like you can get up in a tree or you can be on the ground.
Yeah, well,
And
looking at it, that definitely resonates in the sense that I cannot appreciate, it's that principle of you can't prize the good unless you actually feel the sorrow, right, and the dark, and all of that. So I believe that. And so if we were to talk about energy, for example, I like today, if the sun doesn't come out, the rest of the day it's going to be just as chill and mellow. Like
mm-hmm.
I'm probably just going to be in my PJs all day, right? Like when the sun comes out, and this is probably like that island girl in me. When the sun comes out, I'm automatically just like, good morning, get up, get dressed, let's go outside,
Yeah.
get some vitamin D, right?
I
And
wish I
lately
was a little more
Elijah
like that.
doesn't want to get dressed. Yeah, lately Elijah doesn't want to get dressed, and so you'll see me chasing around him with a shirt in my hand, and him chasing in front of me, just like running around naked. And it's mayhem over here. But I cannot appreciate those high energy days if I don't experience the low energy days.
Right, right. Yeah, that's like those. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Like it depends like upon the other, right? If every day is like
The same.
the same, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to miss it, right? It
Right.
depends on upon like having that, like those extremes or those differences.
Right.
Therefore,
Right.
the master acts without doing anything. He
Right.
teaches without saying anything. And it's interesting, like the word therefore is put here. So therefore the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. And the therefore is coming after these pairs, these 5 pairs.
And so
Because
what does the word therefore do for you? I feel like for me it implies a process, a very specific process and structure. You do one thing and then therefore a result happens. That's what
right.
therefore
Be,
implies to me.
right. Because this exists, right? Because being and non-being create each other, the master acts without doing anything. Because
Mm-hmm.
difficult and easy support each other, the master acts without doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because long and short define each other, the master acts without doing anything.
Right.
Like that's what therefore kind of does for me. It says like, because of all of these things, the master acts without doing anything because difficult and easy support each other. So I know that if this is difficult, it is in support of something being easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
know that if I'm having a high energy day, that's going to depend upon a low energy day. So I can act without doing anything and teach without saying anything because that which is will reveal what its opposite. It's
Right.
and we don't have to define it. We don't have to define it as beautiful or good. It
Mm-hmm.
is. Being and
Right.
non-being create each other. So we don't have to define, is this being, is this non-being, is this doing, is this not doing. We can just be
Mm-hmm.
here with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and is one better than the other? We can also just not go in that direction either, and
Right.
simply just let it be.
Right. And that's the teaching without saying anything, without having to define it, without having to tell other people that, like I can teach without, by just allowing these things to be. And that's where, once again, this conversation moving into the next line, things arise and she lets them come, things disappear and she lets them go without
Mhm.
having to hold on.
Yep.
She has but doesn't possess, acts but doesn't expect. Like, yes, you have this moment, but you don't possess it, because it is going to pass into, being is going to pass into non-being, long is going to pass into short.
Right, right.
And you act without expectation. When her work is done, she forgets it. That's why it lasts forever.
Mm. So good. Thank you so much, Martin John.
Absolutely. And that last line just reminds me of parenting, right?
Hmm. Hmm. It's definitely the biggest adventure of my life, for
Well,
sure.
you and your family are very lucky to be doing this work together, and I appreciate you and all that you bring.
Yeah, thank you so much, Martin. And I love you so much as well. So we'll be in touch. Have a great day.
You as well. You as well. And this number 2 ends with, "That's why it lasts forever." Her work, when her work is done, she forgets it, and that's why it lasts forever. So many of us, when we get our work and then we're just like, let's hold on to it. Let's put it on our CV. Let's make sure that we got this. Let's make sure that everybody knows about it. Let's, even, I mean, even me, like I'm looking forward to forgetting all about my dark retreat, to be honest. I'm done talking about it. I'm done. Like, I'm talking with Bella about doing the interview, but then I'm also just thinking I was going to do a talk here, just to have people ask me questions about it, but just so I can kind of put it behind me. It's time, and yeah, and that's, when your work is done, you forget it. That's why it lasts forever. There's no reason for us to hang on to things, and sometimes when we hang on to things for a long period of time, it just loses its power and loses its hold over us. And I did an interview with this guy Alan Baker one time. We were talking about all sorts of stuff, but any decision that you make in your life, any transition that you make in your life, is one that is beautiful to make, no doubt. What got you there, what got you through it, and all of those sorts of things, whether it be gender transition, or like running a 5-mile race, right? Whatever brought you there is a beautiful experience, and that experience is going to be special to you for a time. Even like me doing my dark retreat, special for me for a time. But I'll tell you, I am sick of it. I'm sick of and I really want to just get it behind me, and I'm really excited to put it behind me. And so, making having something that can, you know, uh, like just kind of mark that moment of having it. Okay, that's done, let's move on. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm trying to push it forward. I'm not trying to, like, I want to allow it to do what it does, and I want to allow it to continue to work within me. But I want it as something in my mind to just, let's let go. It's time to let go. And so, probably this week I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything You Want About My Dark Retreat room. So it might be tomorrow, but we'll see. I definitely want to talk with Bella about it as well. That's something that I would love to do, and so that may happen as well. But um, but yeah, so if anybody is out there and interested, can keep an eye out for that. I'll try to announce it, but really I just want to put it behind me. And that's why it lasts forever. If you have a number between 1 and 81 you want to pick, come on up, and we can go through a Dow together. Other than that, I can start wrapping up, really. It's a nice short day for me today. My name is Martin John. I am your host for Tao of the Day in the Recover Yourself podcast. I I present the Tao because it is such a beautiful text that helped me in my recovery and helped me in my healing and helped me in my spiritual journey or whatever that is. Like, I don't know what to call it. I've never really called it a spiritual journey before, but I'm sure I have. Um, but that's definitely that's like I don't see myself as like a spiritual woo woo kind of guy. I know that obviously I am, but it's interesting. All right, well, I love you guys. Thank you, everybody that came up. So glad to see you this morning, Marcy, and it was nice waking up together. And Andy, every minute is always, every minute we connect is always something special. And Graciela, best of luck today with your great day, and love you guys. I really appreciate you guys coming up and sharing the Tao with me. So, once again, I'm Martin John. If you have any tips, if you have if you guys are benefiting from this work, definitely hit me up on Venmo at Martin John underscore Garcia. And otherwise, I do have links in my profile. I also put up one of those audio intros, so check that out. I don't know. It was kind of cool that we have that opportunity. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and until next time, keep recovering yourself.